coach and founder of the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs, where I help small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs to transition from the 9 to 5 life into running successful businesses by overcoming any obstacles that might stand in their way towards running successful business. So, in today's episode, I am going to talk about attracting your ideal clients. I feel like this is something quite important when it comes to run your own business. So when I work with someone, and I talk from experience as well, when people start their own businesses, they're so eager to get cracking with their business, and they are so passionate about what they do, and they genuinely want to help people. And because they want to help everybody, they end up manifesting the wrong clients. So, as a manifestation teacher, I have a coaching program which is called Mastering the Art of Manifesting. So, when it comes to manifesting, there are lots of layers to it, but one of those layers is being specific. Okay, so you need to get crystal clear on who you want to sell your products and services to. So, because if you say to the universe, I want to have more clients, you are going to get exactly that, more clients. But these clients might not necessarily align with your business, with your values, and they might not be good clients. Okay. So, when I manifest my clients, I always say to the universe, um, send me my ideal clients, or I am attracting my ideal clients, or I am working with my ideal clients. So for me, my ideal clients are people who aligned with the values of my business and match my energy. And also, um, last but not least, they are paying for your products and services without any problems. Because I have had from people, and I've experienced this myself, people want to negotiate your prices. And I said today during another live that I did on Facebook, I am going to do a separate episode about pricing. Okay. So I personally have different price range for different courses and different coaching programs. But at the end of the day, don't forget that even though you want to help people with what you do, you also run a business, and a business must generate money. Because if it doesn't, you're not going to have a business for a very long time. I mean, ask yourself, when you go and work for someone else, do you work for free? When you go to the supermarket to do your shopping, do you just buy whatever you want and walk out, or do you pay for what do you want to purchase? So it's the same thing with running a business. Um, People have to pay you, otherwise you're not running a business, you're running a hobby. Okay. um, so when it comes to manifesting your ideal client, you need to be very specific on who your ideal client is. I'm just gonna read my notes here. Um, my notes help me to be more organized when it comes to my lives. Um, be specific on who your ideal client is. Your ideal client is usually someone like you. Who is your ideal client? Where are they based? Do they live in your country? Do they live in all over the world? Are they small businesses, big businesses? Are they spiritual businesses, or any other businesses? Um, Also, what age group are you targeting? What is your target audience? Where are you going to promote your business? What social media are you going to promote your business on? Every social media? Because from my experience, even though you might post the same content on various social media groups, but the audience is totally different on different social media platforms. Okay. So what are their values? What are their desires? What are their struggles? So who are you helping? How are you going to help these people? Why do you want to help them? Share your personal story, because at the end of the day, if your business aligns with your personal values, what are your personal values? Okay. So, for example, because I have experienced leaving, quitting my job to start my own business or to focus on my own business, this is what I'm focusing on, helping people to overcome fear, anxiety, money blocks, and so on and so on in order to run successful businesses. So, one tip that I'd like to give you when it comes to being specific is write down what your ideal client looks like. Okay. Because when as much as we want to help the entire world, I'm afraid that's not possible. Um, it's more difficult to sell to the entire world than to your target audience. And write down what your ideal client looks like and just read it and release it. People like to hold on to what they want. You need to learn to practice the art of surrender, because once you place your order with the universe, you don't have to do it again. Okay. So, a little tip here: imagine your ideal client is a soul, not as a demographic, someone who's going to come and spend money. Imagine your ideal client, a person who genuinely needs your help, and you are genuinely going to help them. Okay. Tune into their energy, and um, imagine what do they need? Why do they need their help? How do they feel before and after working with you? Okay. And I'd like to mention here, I might say it again later, but there is a fine line between selling your products and services to someone who genuinely needs your help and selling your products and services because you want to make a sale only. So there are a lot of scammers out there. I've said this many times before, and I'm going to continue saying it. There's a lot of coaches out there who are very skilled at sales and marketing, and the only thing they're interested in is making money, not as much helping you. Okay. Um, so, do you want to be someone who is ethical, or do you want to be someone who is unethical? Because when you run a business that aligns with your energies, with your value, your values, you have to be ethical when it comes to selling your products and services. Okay. Um, so I have said many times before, over and over again, you attract what you are. Okay. So your vibration attracts your tribe. If you feel positive, if your intention comes from a good place, you will attract positive people with good intentions. But if your intentions come from a negative place, you will attract negative people. Okay, so don't try and attract your ideal client when you are in a bad mood. It has never happened to me personally. When I'm in a low vibration, I step away from what I do, and I go for a walk, I journal, or I meditate, or I listen to music. I do something to help me lift my vibrations again. Um, so, in order to attract your ideal client, you need to be in a high frequency. And I'm not sure if I've said this before, but you can't manifest the life you desire if you are not in a high vibration. Okay. So these are some of the things I teach at the Manifestation Academy is to believe that you and your business are worthy of receiving high value clients, or a value clients who align with your business. And ask yourself, are you acting from inspiration or from scarcity? Because if you are too afraid that you might not attract your ideal client, you are going to attract someone who is also in fear mode. Like I said, you attract what you are. Okay. And when you create your content for social media, make sure you are in a sort of good place spiritually, emotionally, physically, because writing your content is also going to help you to attract your ideal client. Okay. Um, so, and which actually, like I said, content that takes me to my next point of today's podcast is pick your ideal client language. Okay, so use content that reflects the transformation they desire. So, when I started my coaching business, I made that mistake many times. And then sometime last year, I realized that my content is not specific enough. So your content basically talks to your ideal client. Okay, so who your ideal client is, what is their pain, how you can help them with your products and services. And very important, towards the end of your content, add of your post, add call to action. DM me to book a service, send me a message to find out more. Join my Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs, for example, join my Facebook group, link in the bio, and so on and so on. These are the things that I teach in the Manifestation Academy. It's the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs is not only about spiritual alignment, but it's also about the practical side of running a business. Last week, I think I did, last week's episode was about the practical side of running a business, which was sales and marketing. Okay. Uh, so when you, so your, so like I said, you need to be very specific with your content on social media. So, for example, instead of saying, I am a coach for entrepreneurs, say something like, I help heart-centered entrepreneurs scale with soul without burnout or losing their purpose. Okay. Um, let your words be a transmission. Okay. When your message comes from the heart, it resonates deeply with whoever is reading it. Um, what also something very important when it comes to social media content is share a personal story. I often forget to do that, by the way. So I had to put a remind. I have to put a reminder on my diary. Share a personal story. Share a personal story because people will resonate with your personal story. Okay, people come to you because they see themselves in you. You can share as much as you want, you can share as little as you want, but share something personal that is going to inspire people to come to you for help. Okay. Um, and I think I mentioned this earlier. Trust that when you market from your soul, your energy does the heavy lifting. Okay. And remember that the right clients don't just want your service, they want your presence. And that takes me to the next very important point of today's episode, which is um, be consistent and authentic. So I've said many times before that the best business marketing sales strategy is to be authentic, to be you. Your ideal clients will notice when you're trying to be something that you're not. Okay, I've also know from experience that some business coaches teach people to go to other people's media platforms and copy and paste when they do. This is not authenticity. This is just copy and pasting someone else's content. Um, and be consistent. So when it comes to social media, whether you like it or not, you need to show up every day pretty much. You need to create content every day. I think I'm going to do a video about maybe a live on Facebook. I don't know, but I want to mention it quickly. So when I worked full time, I used to create content every other day because I was so tired of working full time, and it was quite draining. So now, because I've got the time, I bulk my content. So because I'm going away tomorrow, last week I created content for 2 weeks ahead. So once a week for 2, 3 hours, just sit down and create content for social media. It does actually help. It does help. It, for me personally, it gives me more time during the day to do other things rather than creating content for the following day. Okay. By being authentic and consistent, you will build a trustworthy relationship with your ideal clients. If you show up once a week, people will not take you seriously. But if you do it every day, that's a different story. People will see that you are dedicated, that you care about your business, and you are open and ready to receive, and you are open and ready to help. Okay. Something that I have noticed, so at the beginning of my coaching business, I rarely shared pictures of me. And when I started sharing pictures of me, I got more followers, more subscribers. And when I started doing lives as well, that helped big time, because people want to see who you are. Okay, there's millions of people on social media trying to just sell something to people, and there's so many scammers as well. So people want to make sure that they can trust you. They want to see who you truly are. Um, I've also noticed that when I don't wear too much makeup, um, I somehow feel and look more authentic. I was just in the park for a walk. I'm in my workout clothes. I just put a little bit of lip gloss because I believe that this is who I am. I'm being authentic, and frankly, if someone doesn't like how I look, they don't have to watch me. Um, and yes, be authentic, be consistent. If you want to run a successful business, authenticity and consistency is part of the game. Okay. So I have included here towards the end, create a sacred offer. I wasn't sure whether to include this, but I've already kind of mentioned at the beginning to be specific when I talked about being specific. So when it comes to talking about your offer, or posting your offer on social media, so offer means what you're actually selling to people. So be clear, talk about the results of, if you work with me, you're going to do so on and so on. So if you join, let's say, the my coaching program, Mastering the Art of Manifestation, you will become a master manifester. I will teach you the ins and outs of manifesting and the spiritual practices and so on and so on. Okay. So yeah, your offer needs to be clear. It needs to target your ideal client. So who are you selling your offer to? Who are you offering your offer to? How your offer is going to help people, and how people can contact you, and how they can purchase this offer. So on Facebook, for example, because I use Facebook mostly to promote my business, Facebook doesn't like um, um, links that are not Facebook links. Okay, so you can either include your Facebook page if you've got one, or your Facebook group, or you can do call to action like I mentioned earlier. DM me to book, send me a message to book, to find out more, send me a message, and so on and so on. Okay. And the last but not least, is something people don't like to hear. Trust divine timing. Okay, everything in our lives is divinely orchestrated, and it happens in divine timing. Okay, you might not be ready for ideal clients. Your ideal clients might not be ready for you. Okay, we're going through the great awakening, and people are starting to realize that there is more to this world than working for someone else 40 hours a week. Okay, so it can be difficult sometimes. It's normal to lose patience, but keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. Keep believing yourself. Keep your vibration high. Keep taking inspired action, aligned action if you prefer. Keep showing your face on social media every single day. Remember, authenticity and consistency. Um, don't give up. I know sometimes it's very difficult. Running a business can be very overwhelming, but if you give up, you're not going to achieve your goals. And I know a lot of people out there don't are fed up with working for someone else, and they want to create something that is worth doing. I know there's so many people out there who want to be in control on their own time and money. And by starting a business, you can achieve this. Okay. So, and when I read cards for someone, I often get, but when is this going to happen? Well, unfortunately, I cannot tell you because everything is divine timing. It will happen when it's meant to happen. Okay. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, attracting your ideal clients. And before I finish, I'm going to include all of my links in the description when I post this video for the public. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a manifestation teacher, mindfulness coach, and founder of the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs, where I help small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs to transition from the 9 to 5 life into running successful business by overcoming fear, anxiety, money blocks. My approach is very spiritual. I teach my students how to tap into their intuition and use their intuition as a guide. And I also teach the practical side of things, such as sales and marketing. One of the services I offer to small businesses is building websites, creating Linktree accounts, social media accounts, and so on and so on. All of my products and services will be available in the links in the description. I also do readings and energy review for businesses. So if you want to book a reading, again, go to my website. Thank you so much for watching today, and I wish you a beautiful day.